Delta Math had some challenge today. Yeah, I think there's also some generally internet issues as well, because it's not just Delta Math. I think like the Googler and a lot of people are having some issues. Okay, so here we go. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, just a second. There you go, Southern. All right. Now, so can we do this? Finding the missing side. What do you notice right here? As soon as you see this, you ought to go, oh, I know. Close. You want to see 60 degrees. Why is 60 degrees super important? Because then it's our 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? What should be across from the 30? 1. What's our hypotenuse? There you go. And perfect. So how can I find x? Somebody tell me how to find x. X goes with 2. As what pair do you know here? Y goes with 1. Okay, yeah, but that would put 2 variables in one problem, wouldn't it? Could I say as 3 root 3 goes with root 3? Does everybody agree with that? Can I cross multiply x equals 6? There we go. Can I do that?
But can you just know that you just multiply 3 by 2?
Okay, so here's your brain. Here's what your brain just did. You said, oh, I see 3 root 2 across from the 60, which means this is 3. And so then I can double the 3 by itself without the root 3 to get the 6, correct?
Yeah.
That's fine if that's how your brain works. How many people's brain works like that in here?
Not mine.
Okay, there you go. See what I'm saying? So if that's what you want to think about it, good. The only challenge is when you have something like this, Southern, where it doesn't have the root 3 kind of where it should be, that then you're like, oh, well, clearly that is 4 root 3, in which of course that makes 8 root 3. Get the idea? So I mean, I can do it. Did your brain work like that there? No. Now, by the time you get into pre-calculus hardcore and do more of these by the hundreds, should your brain be able to do that? Yes. But what I expected at this point, no. And it's not because you're not a smart cookie, it's just, that's a lot. Let's be honest. Oh, you know what else helps? When the camera that you're using to record is actually on the tripod where it should be recording. Just saying. Okay, now let's slide over, and we don't want to do that because is that basically the same thing? Hello? Okay, how about this guy? You're right. Can we do number 6? Can we do number 6 together?
Yeah, it's going to be 1, 1, and root 2.
1, 1, root 2. 1, 1, root 2. Good. So then what do I do?
1 goes with root 2.
1 goes with root 2. As what? Root 2 goes with A. Okay? A equals 2. Because root 2 times root 2 is 2. Make sense? And by the way, how come you can find this one super easy? Hopefully we're not watching Ed Puzzles, right? Okay. If this is something, what's the other one over here? The same, right? So, this isn't hard to understand. Because you just have to memorize this and the other triangle and then match them up, right? You just got to get practiced at it and do it. Does that make sense? So Caitlin, are we okay there? Yes? Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's do these guys. Now, what's the first thing I need to see? As soon as I see this word or that word, what's the first thing I think in my brain? There you go. So, Toa. Okay, What's that one?
Cop.
Cop. So I need,
Adjacent over hypotenuse.
perfect. Of what though?
A.
So I'm looking for A.
18 over 30.
Adjacent hypotenuse. Is everybody okay with that? 18 over 30. So then, of course, what would you do there? Probably reduce it, right? Okay, here we go. What are we doing here?
TOA. So
TOA.
opposite over adjacent.
So it's opposite now of C. So
18 over 20.
opposite, adjacent, 18 over 24. And again, what are we going to do? Reduce. Good. And here we go. So now what are we going to do? Got to find the measure, right? So measure what? Here, this guy. So what do I know? What's this one? Good, but it's the where?
Oh,
Opposite. What's this guy? Nope.
opposite.
It is. How come it's a hypotenuse?
Oh, it's the biggest.
Across from the 90, it's also the biggest, isn't it? Both of those things are true. So opposite hypotenuse, what should I be using? So opposite hypotenuse. Oh, looks like I'm using me some sine, huh?
Yeah.
Sine of thing I don't know equals 24 over 30. Is everybody okay with that? So how do I get rid of sine? Be careful.
Cos,
Look at your calculator or look at your phone.
not cos.
How do I get rid of sine? How do I get rid of sine? Seriously, look at your calculators or your sums. Inverse, so everybody look at it. Everybody whose name is Caitlin, look at your phone or your calculator, one of the two. And of course, we turn it what's right above the sign button. Okay, for you phone people, hit the second button at the top left corner. What did the sign button turn into?
Negative 1.
Sign -1. Now, that's not really sign -1. How do we say that? Inverse sign. So these two undo each other, correct? So can I type in sine inverse of 24 over 30?
Which do you do first, 24 over 30?
Well, if you're on a phone, you need to do 24 divided by 30, and that gives you a decimal. Point, blah, 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 right? And then you have to hit the second sign button. It says 53.1. Okay, now if you have a calculator, it's nice and easy because it goes in English style rather than reverse Polish. That's seriously what it's called.
Really?
Yeah. It's reverse Polish notation. It's the same reason that like in like Spanish, whatever, that the adjectives come after
I hate
rather than before. It's the same thing principle. So you would say the angle equals 53.1301, blah, 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 blah. Now, what did we talk about last time? Leave all the decimals in the calculator, right? So that when you do the inverse sign, it gives you the correct decimal. So if it says by round to the nearest tenth or round to the nearest hundredth, you can, right? Okay, let's do number 14. How do I do number 14? How do I know?
You know the
Adjacent and the opposite. So what am I going to use? That's right. Base and opposite, total. So I'm going to say tangent of, we'll call it X, equals what?
16 over 7.
16 over 7. And then what am I going to do to get rid of the tangent?
Inverse tangent.
Everybody agree with that?
Yeah, and then I'll find the inverse tangent.
All right, you go, girl. Do we agree, Connor?
Yes.
All right. Now, are 17 or 18 any different than the ones we just did?
There's all three numbers.
It's all three numbers.
Oh, you have to
Does it matter?
What do you do?
It literally makes no difference. Do you just get to choose what you want?
You can just pick
Could
one.
you use tangent here?
Oh, you could use any of them.
Yeah, you can use cosine,
But you would
right?
get all the same answer. Which
Yeah, it's gonna be all the same answer. Sine, okay. So if I did sine x equals 8/10, or cosine x equals 6/10, or tan x equals 8/6, when I do the inverse of each of those, it should come out to be exactly the same answer. Okay? My mask that I normally use broke this morning. So I'm using this one that they gave us. And it is not for people like Mr. Klein, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Emery, or myself. Okay? It's not big enough for our giant heads. So, all right. Find the missing side. Well, can I do this? How do I find the missing side? 7, what do I know here?
That the hypotenuse is
Hypotenuse 17, and I'm looking for the opposite, because it's opposite the angle that I have, right? Opposite hypotenuse. What am I going to use, guys? Stop texting. Put it in your pocket.
I do have strokes.
Good job, you. Yeah. So I'm the worst. Okay, yes. Sine 46, right? Equals thing I don't know over 17. How do I solve that?
Multiply by
Yeah, could I just multiply both sides by 17 to get x by itself? If you're confuzzled, could I put it over 1 and cross multiply and solve? Do both of those ways work? 100%. Okay. What would you use here, by the way? Opposite, adjacent. There you go. That's it.
33
Yeah.
11 over 8.
Did we go through a bunch of problems all real quick?
Yeah, but we did it.
Okay, but we can do it. That's right. We can do it. So, yes, I 100% agree with you. Today is work time. It's due Wednesday, 5 a.m. And you got to get all the way down through number 5, right? Slide number 5. All right, do it to it. If you get that done, you're like, but Mr. Moore, I wish to have more to do. Could you go down to the next ed puzzles? You could. Okay. All right, so get after it. Does that help, Gist? Little refresh, little review. And Howard, Michaela, does that make sense? You guys didn't say a lot, but it's the same stuff as we're doing in Delta Math, right? Okay, all right. Connor, are we going to focus? Way to think positive, Connor. Good job, buddy. All right. All right.